Hey everybody, alright, I'm going to show you how to replace a DVD drive, CD drive out of your PC. I've got an old PC here that has an IDE drive, and I'm going to be replacing it with a SATA drive. So what I'm going to do now is, through the magic of editing, of course, I'm going to go shut this thing off and reposition the computer. Then I'm going to open it up and show you how to do a swap out of an old drive to a new drive. So I will be back with the magic of editing very soon. Okay, I wanted to show you one more thing, just so you can see the drive doesn't work. Oh my God, I don't believe it. This drive has not worked. This drive has not worked in years. And I just press the button and it pops open. Okay, now it's not popping open. Well, this is the drive that I'm going to be replacing. It does have a defective mechanism in there. I took the thing apart and worked on it, but it's all screwed up. So this drive is broken. Amazing that it opened. Let's see if it wants to pop open. No, it doesn't want to pop open. This drive is showing a bad writes. So it's an old PC. I did buy 2 drives, but there's really no sense in replacing both drives because I don't use them anymore. Just a thing that a lot of people don't know, and a lot of people do know. If you get your drive stuck in, your disk stuck in there, and you can't get that thing open, and you've got to replace everything and throw it all away. There's a little hole over here. I don't know if you can see a hole on this door and a hole on this door. So you take your trusty little paper clip and you just take it and you push it into the hole slowly, and it takes that door and pops it open, so that you can recover your media. Yeah, you can see it doesn't even want to oh, now it's working. But it's a broken drive. It's definitely a broken drive. Yep, it just jammed again. Okay, so I'm going to open everything up. I'll be back in a couple minutes and we'll continue. Alright, everything's powered down. Shut off. Make sure you power your thing down. You don't want to be working on this. In fact, I should unplug the power cord, but I'll get to that in a minute. Alright, the case is open. After I'm done with this, you can see there's dust all over the place. This computer creates a ton of dust, as you can see in the case. Alright, so we've got the 2 DVD drives up there. There's one, and there's the second one. And to open up this thing, what I have to do on this computer is I have to remove the front cover. I don't know what you have to do on yours. There's a little tang over here. You reach in, there's a tang that I would press somewhere, and it pops off the front cover. It's supposed to, but it really doesn't because it's broken. And there's another tang in there somewhere. There we go. Let's see, is it showing? So the front cover comes off, nice and dusty. And we have our 2 drives. And then after you do that, it's a pretty easy job to do. When you zoom out, you should just be able to slide this thing out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the back using a tripod here so I have a little stability. There's a power cord. Let me see if I can get in there and show you. There's a power cord over here, and then there is a cable. So I'm going to unplug the power cord. Power cord's unplugged. And then I'm going to pull out this flat cable, which is an IDE cable, the old style. It's a flat 50-pin, flat wire, 50-pin connector. Hopefully the light's good enough. And that's the power cord, power connector. And after that, this drive should just slide out. So let's see if it slides out. I want this to be a good enough video to help people. So, yeah, the drive just slides out. Let me zoom on in here. Okay, so that is the power connection. I don't really have good lighting here. That's the power connection. That's the IDE cable. That is a connection to say if it's a slave or... because I've got 2 drives, so one might be a slave and one might be primary. That over there is for your audio, for your CD sound. It connects to a motherboard. I don't think any of that's going to be on the new drive. Alright, so what do we have now? We'll zoom down over here. Here's a new drive that I bought on Amazon just now. Open this up, a little unboxing video. Is that getting everything in there? All right. Little bubble wrap. I got a bunch of stuff. They stuck it in a huge box. So we've got protective bubble wrap. And then we've got this highly protective plastic cover. And now what we have here, let's try to get better lighting, is we've got the SATA connection. That is the power connector of SATA, S-A-T-A, and that's the data cable. But since I originally have an IDE thing, I need to be able to convert. I need to be able to convert the signal from IDE to SATA. So what I did is I bought a converter, which only cost a few bucks. It's like $4, $5. I'm taking it out of the box now, and it's in a little static bag. All right, so what do we have here? Static bag, good, they sealed it. Most companies don't seal it. I might have to get a knife, so I'm going to shut up the video. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. That's the SATA connection. That is the data, and that is the power. Power and the data. And you look on the other side, there's the IDE connection and the power connection. The idea being that you will take, hopefully there's enough room to do this. This should work. It's been designed so it should work. The idea is that you will take this thing and you'll plug it in this way. Sorry about everything bouncing around. You take the power, make sure the power and the data, and the whole idea is you will plug it in to the connector, and it will sit against the back of the unit, and then you'll take your IDE cable and your power connection, and you'll plug those in, and then you should be able to run SATA off of your computer with IDE. The advantage being that if you buy IDE now, they don't really manufacture a lot of that stuff, so it'll cost a fortune. If you buy SATA, it's extremely cheap, so you're better off, and plus it's faster. It's a much faster connection for data transfer, so you'll be able to upgrade your PC a little bit. You can also do this with hard drives. IDE hard drives right now, you might be able to get some good deals, but they are expensive, and a SATA hard drive is much faster for data transmission. So let's go power everything. Well, everything's powered down. I'm going to go slide this thing into the unit. Now, one other thing I want to show you. Hold on. Grab the old unit. The old unit has, which a lot of these PCs do, Dell and all, well, most PCs have this. You got this little screw over here. That screw is made. Sometimes you need to take the screw and you remove the screw, you put the drive into your PC, and then you screw the screw back in the little holes for the bracket. If you have a Dell or a pre-manufactured PC, you just have to transfer the screws down to the other drive, and when you slide it in, these screws will go down into a channel and lock this thing in place. So I will be back. Okay, I'm running out of battery power, 23 minutes, and this thing takes forever to charge up, so I might not have a PC for a couple hours. I transferred the screws into the drive, as you can see. So now you don't need to see me slide it into the PC, but I'm going to slide it back in, and then we'll continue. All right, hopefully you can see that. I just slid the drive back in, and it's going to be sitting over there. Here's the IDE cable and my power connector. So I'm not going to do this on the video because my head's going to be in the way, but I'm going to take this board that I showed you, and I'm holding it on the edge so that I don't burn it out with static shock. So you want to plug that thing in properly in the right direction so that the data connector is the right way. It's going to go in like this position, so it's completely being blocked by the back of the unit, and it won't break anything or get stuck in the way. So I'm going to plug that in, and I'll be back. All right, everything's in. Two problems. I had to plug the board into the drive before I slid it back in because I could not get my hands in there and get that thing plugged in. There wasn't enough room. So you might run into that too. Let me try to zoom in a little better so you can see this. That's the power cord. I think you can see that. I can't really get the light in there. There's the power cord plugged in and the IDE cable plugged in. One of the problems that I ran into was originally I had both drives plugged in, where you can see that the IDE cable for one of them is in the middle and the IDE connection to the other is on the far left. So I'm not going to be able to use both drives, which is okay because, like I said, the bottom one's broken. Unless I put in a second drive, which I bought, and I bought a second board, but I'm not going to waste the money throwing both of them in here. So, everything's plugged in, everything's good. I know this is really stupid not to shut off the power, but let's go slide this second drive back in. And let's press power. And let's see what happens. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, I think I'm going to run out of battery power, so that's not good. I had to take the drive back out, and I'll explain that in a minute. The nice thing about these drives, it's plastic on the back, and I'll explain that in a minute. The problem was that I connected the PC, turned everything on, and it did not recognize either drive. Why? Because in the old setup, one was a master and one was a slave. You don't really have to deal with a lot of that in SATA now, I don't think. Maybe you do. One was a master, one was a slave, and when I connected the cables, this board that I bought, the conversion board, was set to a master, but I plugged it into the slave connector, and the other drive was set as a master, and I had that, everything was reversed. So what I did, since I'm not going to be using the second drive, is I unplugged everything. I kept this thing on the master because it's going to be the only drive. The setting for the board is set to master. Let's see, I don't even know if you can see there's a little connector over there on the... Can you see that? This thing right over... I can't see the board. That thing. That thing right on the corner, the little black thing over here. That's SATA, master, and slave. So it's set for master. And I had to move the drive down to the bottom because I could not even plug anything in. So the reason I pulled the drive out is because I was worried the circuitry, these things are not the greatest, and they kind of wobble in the connector. Sometimes I was worried this thing was going to short out onto the back of the case. The old drives used to be metal. Everything from China now is plastic. Those cheap get people. So 18 minutes of recording left. So I don't really need to put tape on there like I thought. I'm going to plug this thing back in and we're going to see if it powers up. We're almost done. Everything, whenever you do a job like this, it's always a nightmare. I just had absolutely no room to work in here. Couldn't get my fingers in there, needed better lighting, so we're almost there. Here we go. Alright, so it doesn't find either drive, and now I'm going to have to go through this BIOS setup, but if you don't know how to do this part, you probably shouldn't even be messing with your computer. I believe that I've got the right connector plugged in. I was using primary. Master. If it's not, then I'll have to plug in the other cable, but I'm going to press these buttons and see if it detects the drive. Let's see, what does it want me to strike to? F2. Alright, so I'm going to shut this off because I have no battery left. I'll be back. Alright people, what's going on here is this simple job that should take about 5 minutes has gone about an hour now. I bought 2 of those boards because, like I said, I bought 2 drives, and the computer wasn't recognizing the drive. So I unplugged everything, put my hand on the board, and this board back here that I installed was boiling hot. The component was extremely hot. So I went to another computer, which I've got the same type of setup, and I plugged in both boards, and the board that was getting hot was not working, and the board that was not getting hot was working. So I'm going to power everything up now. Got a defective board from Amazon. They only cost $5, but I'm going to put in a request to get my money. Let's see if it boots up and says that it sees the drive. I don't know. I plugged in the AC power on this thing. Secondary drive not found. Strike 1 key to continue. That's a good thing. Secondary drive F2. Let's shut this off a minute. Okay, so that's what we've got here. We needed to detect this drive. Secondary drive 1. I believe 0 is the primary, the master. So let's go F2 and see if it detects this drive. Hopefully it detects this drive, because this thing's just taken forever. And it shouldn't be taking this long. With hard drives, this works really easily. So, let's see what happens. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, I'm back. Hopefully that's going to work. You see over there where it says CD drive, CD device, secondary master. The other one, remember I was telling you master and slave. So it sees a CD-ROM device for the master. Doesn't see anything unknown device for the secondary slave because there's nothing plugged in. And I have IDE drives for the hard drives. That's why the SATA primary drive is off and off. So let's see what happens. I think this is going to work. Exit, and I'll be back in a second to check out the drive. All right, found new hardware. That's a good thing. See what it's going to do. I opened up my computer before the second I boot it up, because it takes like 8 minutes to boot this old machine. So I opened up my computer really quick, and I saw CD drive E in my computer. Now it's probably going to take forever because all this crap is loading in. And hopefully it's going to say hardware installed, hardware detected, hardware something. And then we're going to be good. So we'll keep this on for another 15 seconds or so. And I'll shut it off because you don't really need to see this. And hey, it just disappeared. Found hardware, CD-ROM. Okay. So this does work. It took me an hour. The biggest pain in the ass was that out of 2 units, one of them was broken. I needed an incredible amount of light, good finger dexterity. It's a pain in the ass to plug this stuff in. I had to make sure that I was getting the master and the slave right on the secondary drive with the right cables, and so it was a nightmare. But I'd rather use SATA than go plug in an, oh, where did that go again? Than an IDE drive and spend a lot of money, because this is an old PC, and at least this will soup it up a little bit. So, all right, let me shut this off, and we'll be back. All right, I guess it worked. The drive disappeared. It went from CD drive, drive E, to DVD, RAM drive, drive E, CD drive, so I guess it's detected it. And the install was good, so what are we going to do? We'll go click on, I'm doing this through the camera, so it's really hard to see what's going on. Let's eject it. Okay, hold on, I'll be back in a minute. Alright, I guess everything's good. So you see the CD drive over there, and I put an audio CD in. I'm not going to put it in so you don't hear the song playing, but I just put an audio CD in, and you can see it's playing, and it's track 1. So the install worked, the CD drive worked, the SATA board, SATA IDE to SATA works. Cheap, the drive was about $24 on Amazon. The board was about $4.5, $5. The other one, I'm going to contact Amazon afterwards and get a replacement, and it's a very easy install. One more thing I want to say before I shut this video off. Alright, we're recording. I'm back. Look at all the dirt in this PC. I clean this PC about once a month. Yeah, I know my place is really dusty. I don't know why, but I don't know where it comes from. I mean, look at this. Right next to the computer. Unbelievable. Incredible amount of dust. Go in there and clean your computer. If you're a smoker and you open up your computer, you're going to see what is in your lungs, and you're going to realize how you're going to die much sooner than you thought, and it's going to be painful. This is nasty. Look at all this dust. Go in there. I shouldn't be doing this with power, but okay. There's the CPU. Let me try to zoom in on the side of the CPU. Hold on, it's kind of hard to... Look at that. I just cleaned that thing not even a month ago. Dust all over the CPU. That will cause you problems with your computer. Dust all over the inside of the case, dust on the boards, dust around the CD-ROM. dust. There's a fan back there. There's a power supply up over here. Open up your computer every once in a while. This stuff is nasty. It's kind of, it's not really going to kill you. It's not healthy. It's partially toxic. A lot of chemicals and a lot of dirty crap in here. You can use a blow dryer, a hair dryer, put it on cold, or just put it on warm, but make sure you don't melt everything, and just blow all this dirt out of here. You can buy air in a can if you want to spend $5 or $8 or $10. Take this thing out in the backyard, take one of your put this thing against a wall so it's not going to blow over, and take your backyard lawn weed blower, and it will blow all this dirt out in seconds. Just be really careful, don't get too close to it. Take a vacuum with a blower, shop vac, and blow all this dirt out. Hopefully you enjoyed my video. Sorry it took so long. That's it over there. That is the that's the board sitting on the back of the CD drive. Because it's plastic, I don't have to worry about shorting. That's the power connector. That's the IDE cable up there. And that's how you replace your IDE CD drive or disk drive, hard drive, with a SATA drive, SATA connection. Thank you.